do this.
So you said you had homework. Oh, you had school today?
Yeah, at school today.
Did you have yesterday off due to like Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah, yeah, we did. It was very nice.
Nice. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
How's now what grade are you in?
I'm a junior in high school.
Dang, man. And you're going to the Hutchinson High School. I know that.
Yeah,
Did you do you like it? I know you kind of don't in a
I
lot of
mean,
ways.
I don't know. It's okay. It's not too bad. It's
Yeah.
probably because I don't have like all my friends, like my made friends and my classes and all that. It's
Yeah.
just like it just gets boring.
Well, you go to school. Do you have classes with Easton and everything? Like, is he there with you?
No, but we no. But I usually see them like during lunch, so we'll just like chill out
Oh,
or
okay.
something.
Is it
Yeah.
is it like a whole lot of kids that go there?
Yeah, there's like, dude, I don't know. I think like 1,000
Oh
or
my
something.
God.
Like a whole lot. Yeah.
Really?
So yeah,
That's kind of shocking to me, but maybe it's because I didn't like perceive Hutchison to kind of be that big. Like,
oh yeah,
you know,
I get that.
that many like kids and that many people like going actively to high school. I mean, the community college here in itself is pretty huge.
Oh,
Like,
it is. Yeah, like there's so much people who go there.
yeah, it's kind of crazy because, Hutchison has been known, at least from what I've gathered, is like this really small retirement community place, but you actually have a lot of like young people here. Um, and they're like, even the businesses and stuff that's like here is kind of surprising because where I came from in New York with
Sure.
Syracuse, like there was quite a bit of
Wow.
restaurants and it was a bigger city in
Mhm.
general, but I feel like here in Hutch, there's like a local restaurant every corner here.
Oh yeah, yes.
Have you
But
lived anywhere else in your life or just here?
no, born and raised here
Dang, man.
and everything.
Does that like bum you out? Like you kind of want to adventure and go out too?
I
And
mean, I do. I really want to venture out. Like I'm always interested in that big city stuff, like Boston and all that, or like California.
oh
It's just
yeah.
like I don't know. But I've been to Nashville, like Tennessee. Just going there was just like it was just moving. Seeing all this like I don't know how to explain it. Just seeing all those buildings just so high up, going around. There's like music everywhere. There's just all these crazy people.
Hmm.
I just loved it every second of it.
Yeah, man, for sure. I think it's good to be able to experience pretty much every like side or like the country of the world. I mean, there's places I haven't been here in America. Like I haven't
Mhm.
been like West Coast anything. Like I haven't been anywhere in that area, but I've pretty much have gone through the whole East. Um, I've never been to like Rhode Island or anything. That's a place I always want to go to. I've been to Boston. Boston's crazy. I mean,
Hmm.
it's probably just as crazy as New York City. It's just
Yeah.
super compact. And I think it's always good for people to kind of experience it, like visiting it and checking it out. But, and I totally get it. Usually, most people where they grow up or where they come from, they want to leave because they don't want to like embody the place they came from, if that makes sense
Yeah, I get that.
in a way. Like some people are either really proud of where they're from or they're just absolutely not. It's like
Hmm.
there's not really one or the other. Like for example, I hate New York City. Like I hate New York.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I love Syracuse, but I also had a love hate relationship with it. It was just New York's like incredibly expensive to live in. And then I got to Hutchinson here,
Yes.
and it's like everything is so cheap and affordable that it's kind of crazy to me. And when did you start working at Olive Garden?
Um, Last summer, around like June, I think.
Did you just
I
want
don't
to
know.
work somewhere, or was your parents kind of
Yeah,
pushing you to do it, or
my parents a little bit pushing me, but I did work with my dad in the oil field
in
like
a
two
in an
summers
oil
ago.
field?
Yeah, my dad, we owned like oil. We were really good oil business.
Really? Wow.
So yeah,
Did you like working that? I would think that's like really hard work.
I mean, I kind of did, but I was like 14 or 15 during that time. My dad didn't really do like, all the big muscular stuff like men do. So
Yeah.
I kind of just stood there
For
But
sure.
I kind of really want to do that stuff, like I want to be proud or something, like make my dad proud.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely hard work
Yeah,
working with
it is. It truly is.
for like an oil company or just any of that stuff like landscaping. I mean, it's just
Hmm.
a lot of hard work. You're outside a lot, you know. Um,
Yeah, doing all the harsh weather.
and so you just decided to get into Olive Garden just for the extra money while you were going to school?
Yeah, I might as well. Like I did want a job that was like close to home because my dad would like go out like he won't come home till like Friday or something because he's gonna be like 2 hours away and 3 hours away.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to like keep leaving town and coming back and all that. So I was like, I might as well get a job that's close by and it's not too bad. So
For
I just
sure.
chose Olive Garden.
Yeah, and you've already saved up a pretty good foundation for your age too, man. Like
Yeah, that's true. I think about 5,000, 4,000, somewhere around that.
that's great, man. And you're only a junior. If you just do it for like a whole nother year, you could be almost close to 10K. You
I
know,
know.
you could
That's
have a
that's just
ton of money
insane to me.
saved. I think what I've realized, and like in especially in your position at your age, you know, once you really figure out what you want to do and you're able to make good money, then I feel like you can move out and like be out on your own,
Yes.
you know. And I think if you can save up around 10K, if more money, you're pretty much really set as long as you have a good job somewhere. You know, but
Yes.
but that's a great foundation, man. At your age, I didn't have that much money at all. I had like $30, dude. Like
Wow.
I didn't save anything because I was just really bad at saving at that age, and I didn't.
Hmm.
It's not that I didn't work. I worked a lot, but I was just terrible with money and like money
Hmm.
management. I would just buy and spend it on a bunch of stupid shit, and was just really bad with my money at that age. So for
Yeah.
you to have that much money, like almost you're reaching to where you could be at like $10,000 by the time you graduate high school.
By like 18, that's a lot to start off.
Absolutely, man. That's
Yeah.
incredible. You know, you definitely should be proud of yourself for doing something like that because a lot of kids your age will don't save up that much money, or they get it from their mom and dad because they got a lot of money. You know.
Yes, that's true. But to be honest, it's mostly my mom who got me into it. I don't know. She kind of like sort of forced me to save my money. And
Yeah.
then like some teachers and all that.
Well,
My driving instructor, he was like, "Yo, if you save 50% every time, like you get your paycheck, by the age of 30, you have this like $1 million." I'm like, dude, I want $1 million when I'm 30. I want to
yeah, man.
retire that early, so I
And
kind of just got with that.
yeah, and he's definitely right. It doesn't take as much as people think it does. I think it's like
Yeah.
the illusion of like it's you really just have to like not spend your stuff in a like even if you budget yourself. What really started to save me money was like um just like thinking like, okay, I only got $100 this week, or maybe I only got $50 this week, and I would just
Hmm.
withdraw that cash, and that's all that I could use, and the rest I had to save. And it kind of like forced myself to like only rely on that amount of money at a time. And sometimes I got into the habit where I didn't even like spend all the $50, and then I would just put that back into my savings and restart.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about working at Olive Garden is like you get as a server or as a bartender for me, like you get the cash tips, like people that just give you cash money, and then you also get people that you know, upload like the tips through their card, you know, through the credit
Oh
card
yeah.
receipts. And what I
Hmm.
do is I don't even like touch like my credit card money at all that I get from the tips because it's just like piling up money, and then I just rely on like any cash tips anybody gives me. So if I get like $20 from a day, I just kind of rely on that $20, and then if I get more throughout the week as I'm working, I just keep relying on the cash that I have, and then before you know it, I have like 3 grand or 4 grand just in credit card tips. You
I
know,
mean, that's really good though.
yeah, and it's
Like you
really
go off with, yeah.
it's not. It's just because I'm like straight up just not even looking at it. Like I'm just like letting it grow and being like, oh, okay, I only got this amount in cash tips, and I'm not even looking at my credit card tips on my card that I get.
I mean, yeah, that's like a good thing to do. So you don't like think about like, oh, I can always use my tips for my car to buy something. you kind of like forget about it and just
Yeah.
let it grow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
That's one thing I really like about it. Do you plan on trying to be a server once you hit
I
18?
do. I
I,
really do. I
I,
want to make that make you guys do so
yeah.
bad.
I think you would be
And then
great at it,
like
man. I
I don't
think,
know. I love talking to people.
yeah,
Like I just love it.
yeah, you're really good at it, and I absolutely think you could crush it as a server, and like you would be really good with people, and like that's where you're going to start saying even more money. So like once you hit that peak, and once you decide to do college or whatever you're going to do, but if you're still at Olive Garden and you end up being a server, you can start making some really, really good money.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you're doing doubles. Like if you're doing like a double, or you're doing, even just a half a day, and you make $100 in 4 hours, it's good money. It
That
adds up,
is. It really is.
over time. I don't
I
know.
think
I don't know how they pay the bussers. How much do you make hourly?
we make $6 an hour plus tips, and like on average it's like 12 an hour, 11 an hour.
Yeah.
Really depends, but I don't know. I don't like it too much. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like I feel so alone while doing it.
Well, you
Cause
kind of
I
you
don't
kind of
know.
are alone. I mean,
Yeah,
unless you got like the other bussers with you. But
but that is really like that though.
yeah, they've had you like expoing though and food running quite a bit.
Yes,
I
I
noticed.
love doing that.
Yeah, you're getting good at that too. Just getting like people's food together and out, and that can get really, really
Uh,
stressful.
it
Like,
can. I'm just like the problem is I have trouble remembering the food because I
yeah,
wasn't like taught by the menu like you guys were, so I kind of had to just guess what food was and was, or like what wasn't, all that.
yeah, but it will get
But
you into like the habit though of like once you do become a server, you'll know what certain like what the tour of Italy looks like, or a chicken Alfredo looks like, or
yeah,
all of that. But I thought the last couple of times you did it, you were doing a really good job, especially given how overwhelmed we had, like over like 35 open checks, like on some of those
yeah, and then we
nights.
had like two windows open too, and they're like
Yeah,
both overloading. It
dude,
was insane.
yeah, it's
What a good
wild.
night. It
It's
does.
it's wild, and when you get that many open checks and they're just like slamming, plates out there and trying to get all this food out, you have to get it out because otherwise that food dies.
And then you gotta remake it again. It just builds up.
Yeah, you're definitely like on a time crunch when you're doing that, and
That is true.
it's just
Yes.
about getting it out. But the last couple of times I've noticed you've done like a really, really good job. And but yeah, man, I think you'd be great at serving. So
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude.
so have you always been like extremely artistic and musically like are you like into any sports, or have you
I
only been
mean,
like a music person?
I've been I've been mostly a music person, but my parents kind of got me trying to get me to do sports and all that.
Yeah.
And I guess at 5, I played basketball. I did karate. I think I did soccer too, and just all that stuff. But I didn't really like it much.
Yeah.
And then I did track for middle school. But like
Nice.
I don't know. But I think sixth grade or fifth grade, that's when I got my guitar. And I don't know. I guess that's kind of when it just clicked.
Hmm.
I wanted to do music or something.
Yeah, man. And
But
have you tried starting a band with anybody, or was there just nobody else really
I
around you that was
mean,
interested?
like, there's not a whole lot of people who want to do like rock like me. Like I'm in this small town where it's just like all Christian and country and all that. It's hard to
Hmm.
find like a select music of people or like like a genre.
Oh yeah,
But I
especially
think
like
I just
alternative rock music, definitely.
yes. But the problem is, like, I think I need to reach out more. I need to go to like Wichita, where there's like, a bunch of people that at least have like some sort of taste like me, or like Lawrence.
For sure,
Somewhere like,
you absolutely could, and you also could, even if you didn't, you could be in a band if you wanted, but you could also just do solo music because
yeah, that's true.
like I tried the whole band thing too, man. Like, but
Hmm.
I've probably been in 3 or 4 different bands over time. I
Oh
started off
wow.
I did a metalcore band with two different people, and then did some albums with them, and then I did like a hip hop project, like an indie hip hop project with my friend Joe, and
Hmm.
but nothing ever really clicked, and nobody wanted to stay like dedicated or consistent to it. The thing I like about being a solo artist is it's really all up to you, and
Yeah.
you're like your own. There's nobody else kind of like telling you how you have to make your music, or how you have to compromise for it, or how you have to do this or you have to do that.
Hmm.
Even when I've worked with other bands as a producer, lots of times the hardest part is just getting like the entire band to be like on the same page and be collaborative with one another and not like have an ego. And
Hmm.
it's extremely difficult when you got like a metal band or some kind of band and they're like, "Oh, this guitar riff has to be in here." And you're kind of like, "Well, it doesn't have to be in there." Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool riff, but it doesn't go well with the rest of the song. And just trying to explain
That's
that to them will make them butthurt and their ego like really mad. But it's also like with me, it's like, for example, Hate Yourself doesn't have a bridge.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it doesn't.
it
Which
just,
I think that makes it really unique. You
yeah,
know.
and a lot of songs still have bridges, but the reason why it doesn't have a bridge is because I tracked out a bridge for it and tried different ideas with Justin and
Hmm.
me. And when I had produced that, and Justin is kind of like, he's like my mentor producer. Like, he had taught me pretty much how to produce in New York and everything.
Oh
He's
wow.
significantly older than me, but that's kind of how I learned how to produce so well. But
Hmm.
I sent him the bridge demos to it, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, all these suck," and he was right. He was right, because they just didn't sound good. And then I was like, "Well,
Hmm.
I feel like the song will just be better without a bridge." And lo to behold, it is without the bridge.
Yes.
So sometimes because you think, "Oh, well, maybe it does need this," or, "Oh, I think it'd be cool if I did this bridge here," it sometimes it doesn't complement the song. It does the
Hmm.
opposite. It doesn't make the song better. And you kind of have to have somebody like, that's why I love Justin's opinion. And I talk to other producers too all the time and get their opinions on my music too, or stuff that I'm making, and or making even for other people. I'll like be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, check out this thing I recorded for this person and let me know what you think." And they'll be like, "Oh, and they'll give their opinions on it, and I can trust their opinions." But when Justin, I show him something, I value his opinion on it because he's just done it so much and with really big bands that
Yeah,
if
and it's
he,
like he's just used to it.
yeah. So a lot of times, then when you get somebody that's never kind of had what I say about like, killing their ego, then they
Hmm.
get butt hurt, and then they want to quit the band and leave the band, and then it becomes this whole dramatic thing. And,
Hmm.
and it just, that's a lot of times what happens with a band is there's too much tension and compromising to each other and the most successful bands though that you see right now, such as a Bad Flower, is usually that they're able to compromise with one another and they're able to work together. Or Dead Poets Society, is all those guys are very, very, like, they don't have egos. And the reason
Yes.
why they don't is because that's how they make the music they make, and they're able to make the songs just as good as they can. Like, I was listening to Family by Bad Flower today,
Oh my
and
God. I love that song.
you can tell just how much work and like how much they were like, "Okay, this needs to be like this and this needs to be like this." And all of the members in that band were
Hmm.
like, "Yes, you're absolutely right." Because they know that's what the song needs. That's what the vibe of it needs. And they compromise to make the song the best product they possibly can. And that's a beautiful song. And it's very
It
incredibly
is.
well
It's
written. The drums and the verses are just so dope. They're so really
I know
cool.
it's so hard. Like I don't know, it's just moving. It really is
Extremely
because
moving.
it's just it is.
So in your like, what are the bands you usually always listen to and gravitates towards? Because I know you love
Oh
Bad Flower,
man.
I know you love Poet Society, but when you were growing up, what was like the first band that like when you got that
First
guitar?
band, wow. I think, well, I guess before I got that guitar, I listened to my mom's music. That's where I really got my taste, was just from her. It was either like from Chevelle or like Highly
Yes.
Suspect or something like that, you know? And
Hmm.
that's where I got it.
That's
Or like
awesome.
Foo Fighters or something. So I
Hmm.
kind of just built off of that. Like, wow, I want to be like those dudes. They're so cool. So
Yeah,
I really like, I want to get into like rock spirit
for sure.
once I got it.
So you, so your mom was like into like Chevelle and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's so dope, dude.
Yeah.
Like Chevelle, what's funny about Chevelle is like, um, I never really liked them in the beginning. Like I remember, like the red, like so lay down the
Oh,
red is,
yes.
and I remember that hit song from them. And then one time I got to see them live with, I want to say it was with 3 Days Grace and another
Hmm.
band, and I saw them live, and dude, I'm not even kidding. And now I've seen Chevelle 3 times live. They have every time been the best live band I have ever seen.
They are very good. I remember seeing them live, actually here in Hutchinson
They like sound
once.
dead on to
I
their
know
albums.
they're really phenomenal.
They're phenomenal, and it's like they're only a 3 piece, and
I know.
they just,
It's just crazy.
it's something about just the way they go about it. But like I remember like hearing them live, and I was kind of blown away because it sounded just so dead on. And what's his name, Pete, the lead singer, is like so good at singing with it. And the stuff kind of, yeah, it's really really good. But after I had heard that from them, I then dived into like the rest of their albums and the rest of
Hmm.
Chevelle's music, and like really really appreciate now Chevelle a lot. And Highly Suspect is another great band, just
Yes.
super super good. And what was the first song you think you learned on the guitar then?
Oh, I think. Well, at the time, I had like a guitar like instructor. His name was Jason. I don't know his last name, but I think the first song I learned was "Hurt" by Johnny Cash.
Oh
I
wow.
think it was the
Yeah.
first one I learned. I think
Hmm.
it's been so long, and then I don't know. I took a massive break from guitar when I was like 12 for some reason because I was just I don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but like during COVID, like something I don't know. Somehow I got back to it and I was just better. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird how to explain it. Like I guess I was more motivated. I was in the right like headspace to actually like put out this hard work and actually learn the guitar and shit.
Yeah.
And then my first song I was self-taught. I learned was like Linda or Lydia from like Highly Suspect, which
Nice.
was just it was beautiful.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So you got to see Chevelle live. How, what other bands have you seen live?
Oh man, Highly Suspect, Broken Love, Dead Poet Society, Foo Fighters.
Oh,
That's kind
nice.
of
You're so
it.
lucky. I've
Yeah,
never seen Foo Fighters, but I've always want to see Dave Grohl because he's such a badass.
he is.
Like
I don't know. He's so fucking cool.
he is. He's such a great musician, and I've always loved Foo Fighters, and have had like just a huge respect for them because they've been
Yeah,
around for so long, and they still are just crushing it.
I
Like
know. Because like Dave was from Nirvana and all that stuff, and he just like started his own thing and all that
yeah,
after
man,
like Kurt.
for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, and I can see though, like so especially you growing up in like southeast Kansas and like Hutchinson of all places, there probably there isn't a lot of people that are really wanting to do bands
It's
or into
no,
that kind
not
of music at all because it's the culture for that kind of stuff it's changed significantly, and there isn't very many bands anymore, not the way that it
yes.
used to be. um I think that's due to the way music is now, and I think the way that
I think so too.
it is released now.
Hmm.
I was talking about that with Jordan, um, because like he's a drummer and he's in his band Pleaser, but um,
Hmm.
he's worried like, well, what will happen, if something happens to Pleaser and then it ends, what am I going to do? And I said, well, why not be like a Travis Barker? You know what I mean? Like, why not just be your own artist? Like, you can just
Yeah.
be Travis, you can be just Jordan, this drummer that
Hmm.
makes your own music and puts out stuff, have like vocalists feature on your music, and you just go crazy on drums. Like, you can still make an identity for yourself, no matter if you're just even a guitar player. Do you know Polyphia? Like,
I don't think so. I heard of them, but I haven't really listened to them.
well, that's like a perfect example. Is like those guys though, they don't sing. None of them sing. Like, they're just like a riff, like intricate guitar band, and they play a lot of like really intricate riffs. And but they're huge, man. They have like millions and millions of views, and
Wow.
but every single individual of that band though has their own following. Like, they're not,
Hmm.
when they come together, they're the band. But for example, those guys could just one by one, just one person out of that band could go on a tour themselves and be fine because
Yeah, because they're just like that successful or just like that talented
yeah, and
or so forth.
I think because they've also just created their own personal brand and identity. Like,
Yes.
and that's kind of what I was trying to tell Jordan is like, well, why don't you just start your own identity as like Jordan, this drummer, and start posting TikToks of you drumming and redoing covers and redoing pop music, and just start a following, and then be like, hey, right now I'm in this band Pleaser, and then if anything happens to Pleaser, your audience will go to your next thing. You're kind of creating
Yeah.
like your own personal brand or image. That's why I was saying, you could like do your own solo music, and then if the band comes along, you can then do the band with the people that you're with at that time, but you still
Hmm.
have this following that just is with you and is kind of like ride or die with you, in case that band
Yes.
kind of dissipates or goes away. And your solo music will always be there. That's another thing. Like, that will always
Hmm.
be there. I've been asked to join, oh my gosh, like so many bands of like,
At least 30 or more.
probably more, man. I don't.
Wow.
I've had so many people, especially like the metal bands, have asked me to join like their stuff, and I've gotten to the point though. Nathyn's is just so successful that the only
Hmm.
time I would consider joining another band is if it's more successful than Nathyn. And
Yeah.
that's it. And that's not like me being like a prude about it, but that's just the truth. Because starting from scratch for something else is extremely difficult. Like,
It is.
you have to have the determination, and then when you get the band and a whole band involved in it, then everybody then has to be on that determination level, not just the one person.
Yeah, it takes like the whole like team.
Absolutely. So like with you, when we start recording your stuff and we do your first song, that can be under
Hmm.
you or whatever you want your identity to be, or maybe you put yourself, it doesn't you don't have to go by Trevor. You can make up your own solo name and go with
Yeah,
that.
I've been actually writing the like band names and all that. Or
Yeah.
something else, so it just clicks.
Yeah, and you could put it under a band name, whatever you want to do, and then just start releasing it under you. And then, and then if you want to join a band or if you have an opportunity, then cool.
Hmm.
But you will always then, though, have your own solo stuff. You'll have your own identity and your own self without any band. And I think a lot of musicians have gone down that path now. But
Hmm.
for me to join a band now with as much success that I've been having with my own music, they would have to be doing far better than me for me to be like, okay, yeah, I'm jumping on this.
Yeah.
Because anything that they're doing, and if they're not as successful as my stuff right now, it's not that I can't do it either. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like,
I get that.
it just have to make sense, especially when you're putting all of your time and energy into it. The investment sort of has to be worth it.
Yeah. It's like going into like a business or something.
It is, and I mean, and a part of me hates music like that because, I never got into music as a business. Like, and I love music,
Yeah,
it's about the art for me, for sure. It's about the songwriting. It's about how good
I
music
agree
is,
with that.
you
I
know?
really do.
But the most successful people that I've ever met in my life in the music business are very business oriented. Like
Hmm.
they still make business kind of decisions for their careers regardless of the art. And I've learned that from, for example, Justin. Justin's worked with huge bands. Like he's worked with like Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills,
Oh wow,
like a bunch of really
that's
really big metal bands. And he's an incredible producer, but everything he does is business oriented in the sense that he's trying to, manage his time and put it to where it's needed. And
mhm.
I completely understand that now. And as an artist, you have to learn that. For example, dude, I didn't do any promoting, man, for the longest time. I never promoted my music at all. I was just really
You
if you
just wow.
if you look
I
at
thought
like
you would or something.
no, man. When I started if you go on my YouTube or my Spotify and you look at my first songs that I released and stuff from years ago, like, because it goes
Hmm.
back like 5 years ago to my first song. Dude, I never promoted anything. I didn't promote anything on my Instagram. I didn't do any of that. I was just like, oh, somebody will find it, then it'll blow up. And I was just thinking in my head,
I was
like,
just
oh, well, if I just release it, it'll blow up. That was
yeah.
my mentality. That was like my mindset was that, oh, I don't need to use social media because I don't like social media. I think social media is kind of,
Kind of bad and icky. Just not good for you
it's
or
not,
something.
it's not, I don't know, like, I'm also old, so maybe I have no right to say anything. I don't know. How do you feel about social media?
I mean,
Do you use TikTok and all
dude,
that?
I do, I do.
Yeah, like I do
It's
too.
just like it can be very toxic. It definitely can be, or like it's just very negative. But I feel like you could use it. It's like a tool, you know. It's either you use it for good or you just use it for bad.
Hmm.
It just depends how you do it. There's
Absolutely.
some great people on like Instagram or TikTok who like support charities or just try to like, get people just entertain them and just like make their day. And then you got the bad side, which is mostly on TikTok where they're just very toxic and just hating on other people and just
Yeah.
trashing on them.
Yeah, and it's very just incredibly like. But you're right. It's a tool that you either choose to use for good or for bad, and
Yes.
and like for example, if I'm going through TikTok or scrolling through, if I see anything that I just feel like it is draining or is negative, I just immediately say, don't recommend. And
Hmm.
eventually, then TikTok will filter out the things that I want to see, and then
Yes.
that helps a lot because yeah, man, like when I started like being on social media or TikTok especially, I was like, this is just like a bunch of like twerking girls or like really negative alpha male like sad stuff where it's like oh yeah
Like Andrew Tate or something.
like beat your girlfriend,
Yes.
you're in the matrix, you're worthless anyways, like like
Yeah, that sounds on TikTok. 100%.
yeah, that's on TikTok, and I would just be like oh brother, like yeah, this
Hmm.
is what I want to listen to. It's just like
That's totally me.
but if you surround yourself with, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that too, is like surrounding yourself, whether that's on any influence of like when I'm watching YouTube videos, for example, I'm watching the stuff I want to specifically watch because it's inspiring or motivating or entertaining, one of them.
Yes.
Um, and if you surround yourself and your life with stuff that does all of that for you and doesn't bring negativity, it really changes your whole mindset and attitude towards life. Um,
Hmm.
that's kind of why, like, for me, when I write a sad song or a really dark song, I have to be, like, really, really in that moment to, like, and hold on to that moment. So I really have the emotion for singing it. So, it
Yes.
kind of just resonates the same, but sometimes putting yourself back into that dark place or that negative place to get that song out can be very difficult.
Hmm.
It's kind of it's almost like acting, but sometimes it's hard
Yeah,
for it not to be either, if that makes sense, I guess, because music is such an
I get
expressionist
it.
thing, it's very expressive,
It is. It truly is.
you know so you kind of want to go with like that, the Dead Poet and Bad
That
Flower
flower type stuff.
kind of
Yes.
sound is where it's like that alternative rock, I would say, like kind of vibe is what you kind of want to go for your own music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a dope sound, man, and it's really sweet because, and I mean, I'm gonna love working on that just because, like, most of the stuff that I record or even mix for people online is trap music or hip hop music, and
Yeah.
I have a love for that too. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, I do too.
when you
But
just do nothing
I
but
get it.
that all the time, you kind of feel uninspired and like unmotivated.
Yes, because it's like the same old thing. You want something like new to spice something up or something,
Yeah,
which I get.
yeah, definitely. So with, I know you said you've been practicing like a lot of like singing and trying to work on like technique with your voice and stuff. Where do you feel like you fit the most with your voice, or what feels the most comfortable for
Oh
you to
man.
sing?
I mean, I don't know. Like I've been mostly messing around with like slow songs or something like that. They're kind of sad, but they kind of go with that high, with kind of like calm voice. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where it mostly fits,
Yeah,
or something like that. But I really want to get into that like kind of that like really heavy energy, just like screaming or something, or
yeah, yeah.
which I don't know. I gotta like train my voice. I want to learn how to scream and all that.
Does the
It's
guy,
just like
no, the lead singer from Bad Flower, does he do a lot of screaming?
I think on his newest album he did When the World
Okay.
Ends.
Yeah.
Like I think it was either I think it was Stalker and some other song. He did like a scream,
Mm.
which you could tell. I think he did like I think he did talk about it. Like he had like his own little like videos of like why he made that song or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's definitely on Spotify. You can definitely check that out. But he did talk about him training his voice to scream. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was so long ago, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he trained himself to do that. And just like I really want to do that stuff because
I
just
th-
hearing that, it's just like I don't know. It's so cool.
yeah, man. I think you definitely can. I think you
I
definitely
mean,
can. It just, if you just keep working on it and working on it and working on it, and you get to a place that it feels comfortable and
hmm
feels cool with your voice. And the good thing about like studio or like with vocal tracking in general is you can keep doing it till you get it. And
yes.
like even with me, I was like explaining this to Eris is like, um, I mean, geez, like even someone like, there's that interview. I think I told you about this last time at Olive Garden, but like with Billie
I
Eilish,
think so.
for example, she had like that interview with, I can't remember his name, but they were going over like one of her songs, called Happier Than Ever. And,
Oh, I love that song.
that
Oh
whole
my god.
song it has like 450 vocal takes.
Yeah, I think I did hear about that. I think the lead singer of Highly Suspect like shot a video about that or something, and I
Yeah.
was just like, just I don't know, it amazed me. 400 takes
Mm-hmm.
of just that one song. It was just I don't know. It was just mind blowing to me.
Well, the way I try to always like say it to even with me, it's like I will do take after take after take after take until I feel like I got the feeling or the emotion or the right pitch or everything in it. Sometimes
Hmm.
even just like the slight amount of like just the nuance of something is so important, like the way you say it or the way you sing
Hmm.
it. Just even the way you sing it can make a one take go from really good to absolutely incredible. It
Hmm.
just the slight nuances of things in a vocal can really make something incredible, really quickly. So it's never
Hmm.
good to rush vocals. It's never good to like
Yes.
rush that process or feel like you have to get it done right now because
I gotta be the best right now, man.
yeah,
Just like that, just rushing it and just stressing yourself.
like I'm working on a song right now and it's called Room 103 and it's just kind of like this like very
Ooh,
spacey R&B kind of vibe and
I like that. That's neat.
it has a lot of falsetto in it and there's this one part in the verse that I just cannot get for the life of me. Like I've done it so many times and I still cannot get it the way I'm wanting it to sound. And so I'll get like
Yes.
I'll get like frustrated and I'll be like, "Oh dude, whatever. I'll just try it next week." And
Yeah.
I'll close it out and then I'm going to try to go back to it because once you do like 30 takes trying to get just the little thing to sound exactly the way you want it to sound, um the way I see it though is once that recording's out there and you say this is the official of something, that's it. Like
Yes.
that's the way it will sound, and you have to like
And then,
the song has to be treated almost like this is a product in the sense of like once that is out there into the ether, if it doesn't like if it does not sound the best it possibly can, you know, people will not connect to it. And that's kind of the way I feel about it. And with any song, some people have that natural ability just to get really great vocal takes really quickly. Like my boy Teddy, I recorded in New York. Like he used a lot of
yeah.
autotune on his vocal. But the thing about Teddy that I loved was that regardless of the auto-tune that he was like really using heavily, he just had really great simple melodies and he would sing really softly. He wouldn't be like screaming or anything. He wouldn't be doing anything crazy, but his melodies were just so catchy. Like they were so catchy and they were just so simplistic in the sense that like I would listen to them and be like, dang man, it's just like just so unbelievably catchy and like really, and it just worked for his voice. And
yes.
and I like couldn't imagine it without like the aggressive autotune because that's kind of what makes it sound cool. Like his voice fits it, you know, like it fits like the robotic nature of it, but the melodies were just so good. He would write fire melodies and we would track it in like 20 minutes. And he was just amazing at nailing that stuff. But when it comes to
I
like
definitely gotta check him out then.
yeah,
I definitely have
he's
to.
great. I was gonna hit him up to see if he could do an episode sometime on the podcast too, because I mean he was like one of my best friends in New York, but just an incredible songwriter, man. He was just so good at songwriting, and just these coming up with really good melodies that just instantly clicked. But I feel like the first thing when, at least for me, when I'm writing a song, I'm thinking about the melodies first. Like I will literally make a beat or I will make something, or like Soul, for instance. When I made the instrumental for that, that's a very simplistic instrumental. There's no drums or anything going on. It's just a piano and like a bass pad I used. And that's it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on. And then I put like details of like, you know, like this faucety sound in the background that's creaking. It's very atmospheric and it's like kind of a piano ballad. It's not like a heavy song, but as soon as I was listening to it, I was just kind of like riffing. Like I would be like almost mumbling the whole thing. I would be like, like I was just doing that.
Wow.
Like I was just kind of riffing through it. And once I got a melody that I was like, ooh, that was a great melody. Then I hopped on the mic and then I just started recording it. And then once I recorded it and all of my music, then there's like a whole version of Soul that's nothing but mumbling. But all the melodies are there.
Yeah.
And then what I would do then is I would write lyrics to the melodies I had.
Oh.
And that's the hardest part, is then once you get the mumbling and the melodies there, you have to then make the lyrics coherently make sense.
Yes.
But like Hate Yourself, like the verses, like I remember putting up that beat and Justin was like, well, what are you going to do for these verses? And then I just hopped in the mic booth and I was just kind of like, Like I was just doing that. Like I wasn't
Yeah,
really.
just go with the flow.
I was just kind of going with it, and none of the word, no words were there, but I was just kind of like trying to find a melody.
Yes.
And then Justin was like, "That's it. That's the melody right there." I was like, "Okay, let's start writing to it." And then I got on my phone and I started writing to that melody. And then I was like, "Okay, I'm doing going." And then I came up with a cut your tongue, spit me out, just like you always do, and then I would start putting it together. And once you get it all to make sense, then it blends well.
That's when you have it. Yes.
And that's the
That's when the
way.
masterpiece is made.
Yeah, so once you get those really just fire melodies, and once you get the melodies there, and then you start working on the lyricism and making the lyrics good and make sense, then the rest of the song comes together. Because without really strong melodies, especially like the guy from Bad Flower has incredible melodies.
Yes.
Like he
Very
has
incredible.
really, really good melodies, and maybe he goes about it the same way, where he kind of is just mumbling through it until he finds those melodies, and then he starts putting lyrics to them, or and comes up with what he does. But you said you've pretty much have two song demos, right?
Or no, I have them written. I just haven't actually produced it because, like, I'm still trying to figure my way through like Logic and all that. But
Yeah.
I do have songs like full lyrics out. I have an idea like what I want to do for the tone, or like examples of chorus and all that.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Well, and once I can figure out a new studio setup, we can start recording this stuff too, because I would like to, like I was telling you, doing that church idea. And
I know I thought that would be really cool.
it would be, if I can get something like that figured out, and then we have like the privacy to record everything and be as loud as we need to be and track everything out, the process is going to go smoother, and then we can work as late as we need to work.
Yes.
I'm not having to bother my grandparents, even with me right now, like just being here and trying to track my own music is very difficult, because it was funny. I was trying to record this song the other day, and it has like a really aggressive screaming chorus. It's one of these songs I'm working on called Not Like You that I'm writing, and it's got this screaming bit of like me going like, "Don't tell me what you think," and I'm just like blasting.
Oh, dude.
And my nan and pa, they went to Dylan's, and I was like, okay, this is my chance. I can track this chorus real fast. And so I like hopped on my mic and I got it, and I was just blasting and blasting and blasting, and just vocal take after vocal take after vocal take, trying to get this takes to sound as good as I could. And I was able to get it recorded, but there was this one little part I was like, that could still be a little better. And then I kept recording and recording, and then my pa came. I didn't realize my pa and Nana, they both got home by that point, and I'm still screaming in my room, and pa was like, he thought that my Nana had fell or something, because he was just hearing screaming. And so I hear him going like, Kathy, are you right? Kathy, are you okay? And I had to like run out of my room. I was like, Pa, no, it's okay. Like it was me. I was just screaming.
I was just singing.
And like,
I love that.
So even me trying to do my own stuff with like the heavier side is very, very difficult to like have enough time to record those vocal takes, because I just don't have the privacy to do it, and I don't want to be like Blair Fry screaming in my bedroom and making my Nana and Pa worry.
Yeah. I get that. Yes.
So
I mean, I'm the same way, sort of. I just don't want to be loud or just, be disrespectful around my parents, or I'm trying to make music or something, Like, I'm kind of just scared to do it. I'm scared to go loud or something,
Yeah,
that's a part of me.
Do you have an amp?
Yeah, I do have an amp, yes, but I don't have it like too loud. I have it like enough where you can hear it like all down like through the basement a little bit when you like go upstairs. But yeah, I have it perfect. like sound to it.
Nice. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Once I get a new studio thing set figured out, that would be the most ideal thing because then I won't have to worry about that kind of stuff and I can just record what I'm wanting to record without having to worry about the loudness of stuff.
Hmm.
Because with like heavy rock vocals or just loud vocals and full voicing and screaming, like, I don't want to just be blaring in my Nana and Pa's house for like 3 hours straight, like
Yes. Yeah.
trying to get the perfect vocal takes, and
Hmm.
that's kind of been my situation. But even when I did have those two clients before just coming through here, like, we were up and I had my speakers loud like past midnight, and I was just like, just trying to be
Just doing your thing.
respectful. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to like mix the
Yeah.
song, and when I'm mixing the song, I like really turn stuff up so I can really hear the bass clearly and hear the hi-hats and everything, or just the vocals and how hard it's EQ'd and compressed. I'm trying to make sure that it sounds as good as it possibly can, and for me to mix, I have to turn things up pretty loud because I need to hear everything that's going on in the mix.
Yes.
And so that makes it difficult. In New York, I didn't have to worry about that because I had like my own place, and then I either brought people to my own place or I would go to More Sound Studio and just record there, and I could stay there as long as I needed to without any worries.
Yeah.
I would say though, once we do get your song done and we get a really dope song, if there's anything I can recommend you doing is just doing my approach on TikTok. Just record a video of you.
Just a load of other videos.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
you just did it. Yeah. Yeah. That could work.
dude.
I've been thinking about doing that.
I'm about to hit 100,000 likes. I almost got 15K
Oh,
followers.
dude.
My monthly listeners are blown. Like, dude, things are popping off. Like,
That's amazing.
it works. Like, like it's crazy because I'm just posting the same thing. But what's weird about the TikTok algorithm is it doesn't push like every video, or even if it's the same thing. It just doesn't work like that. The way it works is almost like the app wants you to be consistently using it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that's how they kind of hook you into it, so to speak, to get you addicted to TikTok. Is like they want people to be consistently posting. So if you take that approach, then and you just consistently post and post and post, and it doesn't really matter what you're posting, but as long as it's getting what you're supposed to be getting across, then people will then go and check it out. But I've had multiple videos just pop off on my TikTok. One like almost 50,000 views, another one that's 25,000 views, and then I've had a bunch of videos just totally pop off and go crazy, and then I gain a couple thousand followers, and then and then I keep doing it and doing it and doing it. What's really funny to me is all the videos that seem to pop off are the ones that I record in Olive Garden.
Those are the best ones. I love the one that Jackson just walks in.
Yeah.
He looks at the camera. Oh my god, I love that one.
That one popped
was my
off too.
favorite.
That one popped off too, and it got like 15,000 views. Yeah, like for some, maybe it's because people are just like, bro, are you in an Olive Garden? Where are you? And you're like working or something, because
Well, dude, I love that.
another reason I do it the way I do it is because I just don't have the time. Like I don't have the time to like make a really, really, really high quality dope TikTok or something. Like, so what I just try to do is just record as much footage as I can of me doing whatever I'm doing in that present moment, and then just upload 10 seconds out of that video clip and just use that whole clip as content. And that's all that I do. And then eventually one of them pops off. But I need to start recording now more in Olive Garden, apparently, because that's apparently like...
That's where it's at. That's the gold mine.
I'm kind of worried, like, what would happen if Olive Garden gets wind of that, though? Like, what if it popped off, right?
Man.
And it got like 500,000 views or 1,000,000 views.
And then just see you just like, you working and having your music going.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing,
I don't know. That's a good...
the way I see it though, is I'm not bad mouthing them. I'm not like
No.
being like, oh, this company sucks or something, or being like, or exposing something, or saying the managers are bad. I'm not doing anything bad towards the company.
Yeah.
I'm actually just working in the video. That's it. I'm like working there.
Yeah.
So I don't think,
Really, I think it also promotes them too in some way. It's like how
yeah,
this cool song artist works at Olive Garden. I should eat there or something, be able to see him, you
that's,
know?
yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think they would have a problem with it because if it popped off and even if they said something to me, I'd be like, well, it's not like I'm like saying this company sucks or like it's awful to work here, you know?
Yeah. And then, to be fair, you're just doing your job. You're not like goofing off or anything.
No,
You're actually
like
just working there.
there's literally the most recent ones I posted. I'm literally just like cutting strawberries behind the bar, like for 10 seconds. And of course, the same caption: "Have you ever been in an abusive relationship? This is my new song called Vicious Elephant." And I'm just cutting strawberries. So in every clip, it shows me working. Like it shows me like actually working and doing my job. So I don't think they would have an issue with it or like fire me over it at all.
I don't think so. I think they would love it, in my opinion.
Me too.
I don't
Like
know.
I was kind of worried about that though. But like I
Hmm.
remember just like I had no video clips to use and I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? And so I just like literally sat up the video right at the edge of the bar and just started hit record and then just kept working because I didn't have I had no other way to do it and I so
I think I did see you once put up your camera. Because, like,
yeah.
I don't know, I was posting a table nearby, and as soon as you like the window, you setting up your phone and everything is going back to work. I
Yeah.
love it. It's my favorite thing to see.
But that's what I mean though, is it's like that's all that I'm doing and it's making my music pop off. Like that's
Yes.
the craziest thing about it is it's like it seems like you should put like way more effort, but in reality that's not how it works. It's just about you posting and posting and posting and posting and eventually one of those will pop off your song or start gaining you a fan base and you'll start getting that. But dude, I only started using social media heavily and started promoting my music only
Mhm.
in March of last year.
Yeah.
So not even a full blown year. And
Wow.
this is the now my stuff's getting played like thousands upon thousands of streams a day now.
Yeah.
So
That's fantastic. That's like amazing.
so that's the real trick is it is
Mhm.
using social media to your advantage and it is the way to get your music and your content heard.
Yes.
And once I was able to figure that out, now I actually have a following and I actually have people that like it and it's really dope to see and I'm extremely grateful for that. But I'm excited to work on your music though, man, because
I am very excited to do my dream. I'm
yeah,
like,
and,
it's like, I don't know.
and you're so young and I think if you start now, we start making you some dope tracks and just
Hmm.
putting you getting them out there and you the main thing is it's gonna just boil down to you though posting on TikTok.
Yes, that is true.
Because if you
Like, I think I have an idea how I want to do it, but I don't know.
what were
But
you thinking?
actually, I was thinking like I would do covers on like my second account, like my other Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll do covers on songs, and then this song's like, hey, check out my music. Like for example, like I would do like a Billie Eilish song, like a cover, and then
Yeah.
like under the link would be like my main, music, and people just go to that or something.
Yeah,
So
that's a
you
good
know,
idea.
like like so a song is like super high, everyone's loving it. I'll do a cover of it, and then like also have my songs or like a link to my songs
Mm-hmm.
and see if that would work too, or like to my other like main account with all my music. So that's what I had an idea of, but I don't know. I'll try that, or like maybe I'll have two like accounts going. I'll do like what you do. I'll
Yeah.
try my method, just see which one works.
Yeah, I think either or can work because maybe my method won't work. For example, my girlfriend Addie, she was trying.
Hmm.
So I recorded her first song for her called "You and I," and and produced it and everything like that. And she released it, and she decided to kind of take my approach of like the really, really spammy consistency. And
Is she also working on Olive Garden too?
no,
Doing the same things?
no, she did them. She kind of tried to make them like look at like aesthetic-y clips, you know, kind of
Oh yeah.
like her driving at night kind of thing, you know, really pretty looking. And some of them did pretty okay, but she wasn't seeing like real results from it. And so then she started posting herself like doing covers and like singing like just for like maybe 20 seconds, like a chorus or something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she started gaining all this crazy attraction. And then after that, she would post then a video of her song. And then it got a ton of attraction. So what she was noticing was like, oh, okay, her posting that cover boosted her own song and her own video. So
Yeah.
I think the cover thing is a good idea because you could just do like guitar renditions or like cover songs on the guitar. And
Yeah. Or like help people learn like Marty music or something like that.
yeah, definitely.
Like
You could
teach
do
people.
that.
Yeah.
I started posting up like type beats I was making on my TikTok now, just to kind of bring even more people to it, like that are just musicians straight up, that aren't just fans of mine. And so I started just posting like, you know, duet this type beat videos because I noticed a lot of producers on TikTok, that's what they do to get people's attention towards their type beats. And so I figured, well, I'll just start doing that and throwing that in because then I could have a bunch of musicians on it too. And they'll check it out, and then I could sell a type beat, you know, and just start selling some beats online. So the good thing about TikTok too, and you should never feel discouraged because if something doesn't work, you can always just try something different with it, and then and then maybe it will work. Though it's the chance of like, okay, well, maybe this won't work, or this will work, you know. And you just gotta just try a bunch of different things until you kind of see what clicks for people. But I never thought that my method was necessarily going to work. I just was like, you know, everyone was telling me, like Justin was like, dude, you got to do TikTok, man. You got to do TikTok. I'm telling you, if you want to see results,
it's a trend, man.
Yeah, if you want to see results for your music, you got to do it. You got to do it. And I was like, you know,
fine.
like, yeah, I really was though, man. Like I was just like, I was like, dang it, man. I'm like, fine, you know, because I was just tired of no one listening to my music, and I was just like, you know, and the way I saw it is like, well, what's the worst that can happen? You know, let me just try this. And so I just started taking these video clips and I would post and post and post and post and post, and then nothing happened for like a month or two, and I just kept doing it and kept doing it and doing it. And then all of a sudden, one video just popped off and it got like 10,000 views. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy. And then I saw like my monthly listeners go from like 200 a month to like 5,000. And I was just like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And then from 5,000 and went to, you know, till now up to 30,000. So it's just consistently has grown and boosted and boosted and boosted ever since, because you're just self-promoting. And the beauty of it is it's just free. It's like you're not using your own money to do it, and all you're going to be doing is getting money from it. So and I can help you even where to like put it for like distribution. You could use TuneCore or DistroKid, where basically what you do is once we make you a song and you got a song down, you upload it to either DistroKid or TuneCore. I think TuneCore would probably be better for you to use. I wish I did TuneCore, honestly, but I use DistroKid. But essentially, you only pay $20 a year, but you can upload as many songs as you want, and they distribute them to every platform. So Spotify, iTunes.
Really useful.
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, TikTok, Napster, Deezer, every single platform you can think of, Pandora, Spotify. They then upload it to every single platform online for you. Snapchat, and then once it's all,
Whoa.
so then
This is,
that's how you distribute your music. It's just through those
yeah.
websites. Like
I never even knew that.
yeah, that's all you do. Like I use DistroKid, and I just upload it to DistroKid, and that's how my music gets on TikTok and Spotify and goes on to everything after that.
Yeah.
So, and then once it's on TikTok, your first song, and you see that you can search it and bring it up on TikTok, then you can start promoting it off of there. And
Yes.
that's basically all that I've done for my own music. And then people, then click it, and then they're able to find the song easily.
Yeah. Which is like that's really useful.
Oh, yeah, man.
Like I never knew this like existed at all. Like it's on now. Like I didn't know this was like a thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's all it takes to get it all up there and online. But once I get a studio situation figured out, then we can definitely start recording. I just need to figure something out and right now I've been just so busy with cosmetology school.
Yes.
That's
Which it is a lot.
Yeah, it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So it's not like
Wow.
it's not like I have a ton of time in between. So that's another issue is I just got to figure out when and how I'm going to be able to. But it's bummed me out for sure because I haven't been able to work really on anybody's stuff,
Yes.
including my own. So I got to figure some kind of situation out where I can record other people's music, and it's a lot easier and manageable, and I'm not going to bother my grandparents. So
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I think that's dope. Do you have school tomorrow too?
I do, yeah. I got school till like Friday.
Nice. Are you working anytime this week?
I am working Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And when do you turn 18? When's your birthday?
August 18th.
Oh, really? August 18th?
Yeah. August 18th. I gotta wait that far just to turn 18, just become a server, so.
August 18 at 18.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Wow. It's so crazy.
Yeah, man, that's wild. I mean,
It is.
you're only do you plan on going to college?
I mean, I am planning on go to community college, like Hutch Community College. Like, I'll go there, do all my things that are like required, I'll do all that. And then, I don't know, like, it depends how things go.
Yeah.
And if I like another thing I like, which I'm definitely still gonna do music. That's like 100% guaranteed.
Yeah,
It just,
absolutely.
it depends how it goes and like what happens, Like some people, like I don't know, like some people at like age 20, their music career just, starts off and they don't really need to go to college at all or anything like that. So it really depends what happens.
Well, I always feel
But-
like if there's anything that's really important, though, is don't be afraid of being really good at not just one thing. And
Yes.
like a lot of people, and I mean, I knew a lot of artists like in New York that they would just put all of their stake into music and not think about anything else. And they would just be working at like McDonald's or something, and they would always be like broke and trying to pay for a music career and getting their career off the ground that never really goes off for them. And
Yeah, which you always need like a backup, like, plan or something,
yeah,
Yes.
I wouldn't even see it maybe as that, because it's more just like try to find something else that you're really good at or you enjoy. And it's not that you give up the music. It's not that you give up your career. It's like even with me with Nathyn, it's like I'm not giving up Nathyn music. I'm not
Of course not.
I'm not giving up the grind of promoting on TikTok and trying to get it heard and getting, exposure, but just because I'm doing that and still chasing music and trying to get my music to blow up, it doesn't mean that I'm still not going to cosmetology school. It still doesn't mean that I'm not pursuing these other avenues that will garner me more success, because if I do happen to blow up successful as Nathyn or not, I still have all of these other avenues for me in my life that I can be successful at, such as cosmetology or being a bartender, whatever it may or may not be. Like, so try to not look at it as like just kind of like be
It's
willing.
like one thing in, I'm like, I don't have to be stuck on one thing or just try out other things too.
Yeah, and then
Really.
put your time
Yeah.
and focus into those things, depending on the circumstances or the situation.
Hmm.
Like that's the best thing that I can advise about like growing up, because you can still pursue music and having a career in it, but you can also be, whatever you else want to be at the same time. Like if Nathyn blows up for me
Yeah.
tomorrow and I don't have to work again, I would still go to cosmetology school. And
Yeah.
the reason why is because I still want to be a cosmetologist.
It's
Regardless,
just a thing.
yeah, regardless if I became a huge musician or not.
Yeah.
It's like I still would want to be a cosmetologist, so I'm going to still go to school for cosmetology. I've always
Hmm.
respected even actors that have done that. Like, what's his name? Dylan Sprouse, for example. Like, he's got a college degree. Like,
Oh, yeah.
when he was acting and he got his big roles before he blew up, he went into school and he still went and got his degree in what he
Yeah.
wanted to do, and because he still wanted to have that as an option. So you could try to look at it as like being skilled in multiple things, and it doesn't mean you're giving up
Hmm.
entirely if you're like, oh, music's not really working out, I guess I'll go be a biochemist. You don't have to like think like that. Like,
Yeah.
and if anything too,
Be
don't
something that like you enjoy
yeah, and
or something. Yeah.
don't rush wanting to go to college. Like, only go to
Yeah.
college once you figure out what you want to do. Like,
Hmm.
otherwise you're just going to get in debt and you're going to hate it. So,
Yes.
once you figure out legitimately like, hey, I really care about this thing and that's why I'm going to cosmetology at my age, because I've never gone to college at all for anything, but the reason why is because I'm actually really good at it and passionate about it. And
Hmm.
that's the only reason I'm doing it. But if I didn't have any interest in it, why would I go and do it? You know?
Yeah, you would just be hating it, and you're just be hating yourself, and you have all this debt. It was just like ruin your like emotions and all that.
A lot of people just look at it for money, and you got to be really careful because money isn't everything. You know,
Yes, that is entirely true.
money's really important, and it obviously provides us sanity and safety, and we don't have to be broke and shit. But
Yeah.
you got to think about your happiness and longevity too. Like, for example, I could have gone to school to be like a nurse practitioner, right, and make 300 or
Hmm.
$200,000 a year, you know. But would I have
Yes.
enjoyed being a nurse practitioner? Absolutely not. Like, I would have hated everything. Like, I would have hated my
Yeah.
job. I would have hated working 40 hours a week, taking care of people that are sick and vomiting all over me. Like, that's not what I would have enjoyed doing at all. Like, that's not
Hmm.
me. So it's a lot of people just go into this stuff because of money, and you got to be really careful with that, and there's a balance to it. Like, it doesn't mean you have to overly love it, but you also have to be willing to enjoy it. I don't think anybody that goes into, well, I don't know, there's some people that love being nurses.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I know a couple of people who do, who just, like just like it and they're interested in it.
Yeah, like they
But
just love
yeah.
medical stuff, and they love, so I can't say that either, because they're just truly actually passionate about taking care of sick people and helping people that are in need, and so that's probably why they obviously went and got a degree in it. But for me,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Like,
Hmm.
I full blown know that I would be miserable if I was a nurse, or if I was whatever that was in a medical field, or if I was an engineer. Like, I would hate stuff like that, not because it doesn't make great money, but my happiness would just, I wouldn't be happy, you know?
Yeah, it would just go down. It would just make you just miserable.
Yeah. But
So yeah,
once you figure out those niches though, and you figure out all those things, and you can apply it to literally anything, and then making money from it or a career.
hmm
That's all it takes, man. That's really all that
that's
it
true.
takes. And sometimes it doesn't mean you have to have a college degree. Like I knew this guy in New York. His name is actually Frank, which is funny because Frank from work, but
Frank Romo, yeah.
and but his name was Frank, and he never went to school. He just started his own painting business where he would just go into
Oh yeah,
houses.
you were telling me about this.
Yeah, and he would just
Yeah, I remember.
paint.
Yeah,
He would just paint people's houses, and dude, he made like 3 grand a week. A week,
yeah.
he
It's
made like
just
three
oh
thousand
wait, it's
dollars
insane.
because he was so good at it, and he could like bust out 3 houses with like 4 bedrooms in a day. He was like insane because he got so fast at painting, and he knew exactly how to do it really, really, really fast and really good without messing up. And he would just go into
Yeah,
these houses, and he would have this huge brush, and he would have the pans, and he would have the paint, and he knew exactly how to get it all on there without messing things up. And
yeah.
he would just nail out these houses in like an hour, and then he would just be making like, you know, $500, $500, $500, $500, and then before you know it, he's made like $2,000, $3,000 in a week.
Which is just insane.
And he never had a degree or anything. He was just like, yeah, I just like to paint.
Yeah, it was just his thing. You know,
Yeah,
he was kind of lucky because he found his interest early on.
yeah. He
So
literally
yeah,
he literally put up a Facebook Marketplace ad, and he just said, "I'm a painter, and I will undercut any other painters that ask for too much money." And then he's just started getting a ton of DMs like, "Oh, we'll pay you 200. Oh, we'll pay 300 and 500." And once he started doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, he just built up this crazy reputation, and people were hiring him, and he would just do 500 a day, and he was like making $500 a day, and then before you knew it, he made 3 grand a week. Like,
which is just unbelievable to me.
yeah.
It's just insane.
Because a lot of people just didn't want to paint. They didn't want to paint their houses themselves. They didn't want to be bothered with it. So why not hire a guy for 500 bucks to just come in and paint all of your stuff in an hour?
Yeah,
You know, like that's what I mean. Once you get really good at something, and you figure out whatever it may or may not be, because a lot of people would be like, "Oh, painting's not a real career. Painting's not a real job," or some dumb shit. But
yeah.
that's not the case, because he clearly,
He's
like,
gonna make so much money, and he's making a living off of it.
yeah, he's making a ton of
Yes.
money. Like, he's making over 100K a year just doing painting. So
Which is amazing.
yeah, so sometimes it's just the things that you don't necessarily think about, or just work like that will
Yeah.
pay you a ton of money. You know, like, so it just depends. Like, I think the only thing I miss about moving, but well, from New York and then moving to here, is literally that I just don't have any way to produce. Like, clients right now, I don't have that freedom like I used to, and it kind of sucks because I would probably take off more days from Olive Garden, and I would just do nothing but produce people. But
Yeah.
right now my situation's a bit more difficult because I'm also going to school at the same time, and I can't mess that up either, you know.
Yeah, it's just very time consuming for you, which is, understandable. You have like a lot to work with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Well, cool, man. Did you watch,
Yeah.
are you into video games?
Oh, dude, yes. I'm a big nerd.
Did you
I'm a
watch the
big
Last of
video
Us
game
show?
nerd. Yes. Oh
Yes.
my god, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Dude.
it so much.
Dude, it's so
Oh,
good. That first episode,
it
man,
is.
blew my mind.
Dude, it got me scared too. Where they're like, that first scene, there's like the only reason like that fungus can be like the end of human extinction and all that. It kind of freaks me out because like, that it is kind of possible or some form of way. Because
It's
there are like that fungi that controls ants. Like that shit just scares me, dude.
It is extremely possible.
It
In
is.
the video game, and I think they had interviewed the director from the studio, Neil Drunkman or Dunkman, I can't remember
Yeah.
his exact name, but they had interviewed him, and he said he was inspired by by that as the infection thing,
Yeah.
was that this fungus could control these ants and like make them do exactly what they wanted and all this stuff. And so he was influenced by that. But if you look at it scientifically, yeah, it is actually incredibly possible for that to happen.
Yes.
Now, would it make us turn into
Zombies, like,
eating zombies?
Probably not. Probably not.
Well,
Probably not.
Who knows? It's hard to say. Like, would
Is
it?
it? Yeah.
Who knows if that's what it would do or not? Maybe it would. Maybe it wouldn't. But is it very possible if a fungus was ever powerful enough to
take over a human's body? Then yeah, maybe
it's extremely possible. Like, because
yeah.
And then once it is, then yeah, it could just take over a human and make them do whatever they wanted to do. Fungus is something that's really strange. It's a very strange kind of phenomenon. There's a lot of science about it we don't understand, even to this day.
Yes.
About fungus. That's extremely bizarre and weird, and what it does. Like, they can't necessarily explain why the fungus gets into ants and controls them, and they
do all that wacky stuff.
Yeah, they have no idea how it does that. So that's kind of, I love how they implemented that in the show, though, of like, that's kind of why they don't know how to stop it either. Like,
yes.
They don't know exactly how to stop it, because in real life, if that just happened to us right now and all humans were getting infected by a fungus and making them kill each other and killing people,
and no one has no idea like what happened or where it came from, it would just be total chaos. Just full chaos.
Yeah, it would just be insane. Like, yeah, full-blown chaos. But no, man, that first episode, like, and I knew what was going to happen, too, because I played the game, obviously. I know you did. But
yes.
Like, so you know what's going to happen. But, dude, I still, like, cried when Sarah died. Like,
I know. It was just like...
I was just like...
Well, we should probably say spoilers. If someone never knew what The Last of Us.
If nobody knows... Okay. If nobody knows by now... and they're watching this podcast, you're living under a tool. You're living under a shed, bro. Like,
trust it. You gotta get on this. This is what all the cool kids are on right now.
Yeah, like, Last of Us has been out since 2013. I think if you don't know about it, then yeah. But I was like shocked, because I was like, I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna be fine. I can't see them. But dude, it was even more heartbreaking. It was like even
how
worse.
Realistic it was. It hit so hard.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I've been through it like kind of twice. I played the remastered and all that. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
But no, dude, like thinking about it right now makes me sad. I'm tearing up a little bit. It's just like it's so just heavy hitting.
Yeah, man.
It really is.
It tore me up. Like, I was like, but then the rest of the show went on, dude, and it's just so good. It's just so
really good.
And it's so...
Like, the atmosphere they make is just... It's so wonderful. They did a really good job.
I'm really hoping it just stays this good. I'm just hoping that the rest of the show is just as good. And if it is... then it will probably be like the best video game adaptation to TV series ever.
I think, yes, it'll be like number one. Second is Edge Runners and stuff, but definitely number one is Last of Us.
You know what's really funny about Edge Runners is like, I didn't play Cyberpunk before that show. Like, I just watched the show first, and then the show made me play the game. Like, because I loved the show so much, I was like, dude, I gotta play this game now. And then I played Cyberpunk 2077, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. So, because I heard about how bad the game was when it released. And
yeah, I was there day one. I pre-ordered it, dude. As soon as it came out, it was total chaos.
Yeah, and everyone was telling me, no, don't play it, it's a terrible game. And then I was like, okay, and then I didn't. And then I watched the show, and I was like, dude, the show's incredible. Like, this is an amazing anime. And then I picked it up, and then they updated and fixed the whole game, And then I started to play it, and I loved it. Like, such an amazing game. I love the game. I think the game's awesome.
I know, the game is really good. Like, right now, like, soon Edge Runners came out, I got back into the game. I just like loved every second of it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It's really hard
And
to
then,
make like they did the Witcher series too, like and
yes, and those are good. Those are
yeah,
so good.
yeah, and like I love The Witcher. So I feel like lots of shows now are trying to adapt these video games, and The Last of Us was definitely like a worry, but as long as they follow basically exactly what the game did,
Yeah,
I can't see them messing it up because the game is so well wrote that
yeah, it is truly beautiful.
yeah, if they just follow that, I think they will be fine. So I can't see
Yeah,
them
I think
messing
so
that up.
too.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we've been going on for about an hour and a half.
Wow,
So
that's insane.
I think the next episode, I would like to get everyone else in to do like the top 10 albums. But
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna ask you like though, like what's your like top number three to you? Like what are
Top
album
number
what do you
three.
keep listening to? Even if it's just a song,
Ooh,
it doesn't have to be albums. But like what are
it just had to be songs, or it
yeah,
can't be songs.
what do you just keep going back to of songs that you just really
Man,
love?
I've been listening to a lot of songs right now. I've been these really underground people, the Citizens. They're
Oh yeah, yeah.
so good. Yeah, man. I've been listening to like Sleep, Breathe. How does it feel? Like
Mm,
it just, I don't know. It's so good. Or my
nice.
favorite one, Yellow Love. I do like I am very inspired by this song. I am writing a song kind of like that,
Mm-hmm.
sort of like it, like definitely the melody, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah, man.
Um,
That's really cool. I've been listening to a lot of well, I don't know, just a lot of weird stuff. Justin has
mhm.
been sending me like a lot of like this like local band stuff, and I've been trying to like work with him on mixing it. That's kind of what I've
Yeah,
been focused on, but what I've been really listening to a lot lately is Tool. Do you know Tool?
Tool by the band or just like a name?
Just the band Tool. Like
Oh no, didn't know.
Tool, it kind of like they're kind of I would say like a weirder Chevelle. So I've been like listening to a
Mhm.
lot of like that kind of stuff, and then I've been listening to Breakins, which is like he's like a hyper pop artist, and he's really cool.
Mhm.
Um, just kind of into a bit of everything right now, and
Yeah, I get that.
just going like back and forth between stuff. But yeah, Citizens,
Mhm.
they're a cool band. They're definitely
They're
underground,
very cool.
but they got some great
Yeah,
songs. Like they're really
I know
really dope.
they are. I would also listen to Cleopatra too. They're so good. They're like kind of
Cleopatra,
punk. Yeah, Cleopatra. They're so good.
nice.
A little bit of Deftones.
Oh, dude, I love
There.
Deftones. I love
There. My
Deftones.
mom hates it so
She
bad.
hates Deftones, really.
Yeah, she hates Deftones. I was like, wow,
I
that's
feel
so
like
surprising.
I feel like with everything she's shown you, that she would like Deftones.
I know, that's what I was thinking, but I guess not. She's not into that.
Yeah, Deftones is definitely a more alternative than stuff like Chevelle. That's for sure.
Yes, that
But
is for sure.
I love Deftones though.
They're
Deftones
so good.
is really really dope.
Like Sex Tape. Oh my god, I love Sex Tape. That's my favorite song.
Oh yeah, they're really great. Why do all the girls pick on you, dude? Why are they why are they always picking on you, bro?
Dude, I have no idea.
It just seems
I
like
don't
every
know.
time I'm at Olive Garden, you have every like host girl like giving you crap.
I don't. That's just the host, though. To be honest, I think that the hosts are just kind of just bossy.
Yeah, they really are. Do you go to school with any of them?
Like yeah, I have one of them in my classes,
Oh,
but we
okay.
don't really talk at all. We kind of just like glare at each other.
Glare at each other.
Yeah, we just like give me the eye. She's like, I'm all the way in the back. She's all the way in the front, and she'll just turn her head at me. And I'll just look at her, just to give her that death stare. Yeah, I love it.
It's like every time you're working there, for some reason, one of them's picking on you for some reason,
I know.
or like going on,
And
and I'm just like, well, leave Trevor alone,
I'm
guys.
just
Like,
minding my business. I'm just trying to be a good little boy.
I'm just like mad confused. That's so funny. You know who I've realized is really into music is Gabe.
Oh
Gabe's
yeah,
like
dude,
really
Gabe
into
got me
music.
into stuff. Yeah, he got me into like mom jeans, hockey. I think it was like what was it, hockey dad? I think I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Like he's really into
Yeah,
music, and I never knew that. But like, he checked out all of my music, and he was like, "Bro, he's like, I love Linkin Park, and you have like that Linkin Park sound." And I was like, "Really? You like Linkin Park?" And he was like, "Yeah." Like I never would have thought
dude,
Gabe, but would like Linkin Park, but he like loves Linkin Park, and he's like
I
really,
know.
really a big music head, and I really never knew
I
that.
know. I never knew that either. It made me like I don't know. It was so nice to meet Gabe when a big music dude.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
such
just
a good
like
dude. He's so cool.
he is so cool. Dude,
Um,
like I don't know. He's number one amazing person for sure.
Not Trevor. That's you, Jackson. Jackson's not really into music,
Jackson.
is he?
No, I don't know. I know he's definitely into like comic books and like games and stuff, but
Oh
I don't know if
yeah,
he's into music.
yeah. I
I
definitely know
think,
he's into games and comic books.
yeah, but I think we did talk about music once. I think like the oldie stuff, like 80s or 90s and stuff. I think I
Nice.
don't remember.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if any of those host girls keep picking on you, I'm gonna stop them and
Okay.
tell them to
You'll feel, you'll feel like my dad.
tell them to leave you alone because like
Uh,
maybe they just do it because they like you or something, but that
maybe that's the first.
I never see them do that to anybody else besides you. Like I never see them
I'm
like
surprised.
so. I'm
I
just
think they do to Easton though. I'm pretty sure they mess with Easton. Well, that's because Easton fights back. Easton's just like
yeah
that.
yeah.
I gotta just sit there and take it.
Easton's so funny. I remember when he like started busing and he would take the tubs to make the peach tea and he would get like one of the wrong ones where they were like they were like blending onions in them or something, and he
Yeah.
would grab one of those and then like I would be serving the customers the peach tea and they'd be like, this tastes awful, this tastes horrible, this tastes like garlic and onions, and I would be like, what? And then I went to go try it, and let alone the peach tea tasted exactly like garlic and onions, and we had to dump the whole thing. And then Easton was like, oh yeah, I probably grabbed the wrong tub, and he made a whole peach tea batch out of like one of the wrong tubs that they used to blend and mix the onions and
I
garlic.
remember this. He
And
told me this. Oh
yeah,
my
and
gosh.
we were just serving it to customers, and they were like, I was like, this tastes
Oh,
terrible. Like, dude, it cracked me up. It was so funny because,
oh,
and then I tried it. I was like, oh my god, this tastes awful. I was like, but he was just blending it wrong, and he would blend it in the wrong tub. But it was so funny.
I love Easton. I knew him since kindergarten and all that. It's just we've been bros since.
Yeah, he's a really
Yeah,
really funny dude. He's really
he
funny.
is. I love him.
How did the New Year's party go for you?
It was okay. Mostly all the adults are downstairs, all the teenagers are upstairs, really. Or like
Nice.
pretty much everyone who worked at Homewood Garden was like downstairs. Everyone else who didn't were upstairs.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just wish my house was bigger so everyone can like have space because it kind of felt like cluttered a little.
Oh yeah, I bet it did, dude.
Yeah,
I was so
yeah,
sick, man. I was like puking my
I
guts
know,
out for like
dude.
3 days
I've been
straight.
there. I
I don't.
puked out of my nose once, so I feel
Oh
you. I've been
jeez.
there, dude. It was bad. I was having like throw ups for like weeks. It was like during sixth grade. I just kept
Dang.
throwing up every single day.
Dang, man. I was like
But
at
yeah, I
Olive
guess
Garden
yeah.
and I had been working New Year's Eve and I was about to leave and I didn't really feel good and I couldn't really tell why. I was like, oh, maybe it's just because I haven't eaten anything. And then I got home and, dude, I just started vomiting like crazy. Like, I vomited probably 11 times and just like,
Wow.
I like laid on my bedroom floor, just like, bro,
Just
like,
dying.
yeah.
Just please end me.
I
Yeah,
felt
gosh.
so awful, and then it took like 3 days to like recover from that, and then I was fine. But
Oh,
I don't know why, but me coming into 2023 was me puking my guts out over that. So
what a good year. What a good way to start it.
what a good way to
Great
start the
time.
year, just puking your
Yeah,
in,
just puking the whole
yeah,
organs out.
yeah, just dying on the floor in the bedroom.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It was awful, dude. Like I was like delusional from how much I was puking. Like it was terrible. Like,
Mhm.
but hopefully nothing like that
Uh,
happens again. I have no
Hope
idea what
not.
I don't know what happened, but
I
um,
hope you got all that stuff out of your system and everything.
yeah, whatever it was. I mean, screw it. But yeah, man, I appreciate hopping on, and
Yeah, dude, I'm very thankful that you had me here. It really, I feel so honored.
yeah, this is a cool episode. I'll definitely let you know when we can get more people involved too, and just shoot more of a group one again. Um,
Hmm.
but it was just cool just to hop on with you and talk to you, and I'll upload
Yeah, same way.
this next and hit everybody up to see when we could do more of a group one and have multiple people in it too. And
Yeah, that's our big episode. That one's gonna be a huge one.
yeah, I
It's
want
gonna
to
be
just.
like,
I like the group ones, but I also like the one-on-ones like this too because it's kind of easier to have conversation. And then when you get
yes.
like 5 or 6 people in Discord all trying to talk at once, it gets a little. You
Just
get,
trying to figure out who's saying who and what's everyone talking about.
yeah, it all gets a little
Yeah.
complicated, but I'm trying to do more of these podcasts and just kind of chilling and talking and interviewing people and stuff like that because it's semi-serious about like, just talking about music, but obviously we just kind of talked about like life here and
Yeah,
like
which it's good. It's good to talk about this stuff. You got to kind of like suppress.
yeah, I feel like people just there's more of a human element to it and people
Hmm.
like talking about like just the life stuff and it even though it's like a music podcast and we still did talk a lot about music, but just asking about you and where you came from and being here in Hutchinson and going to school and all that. I feel like gives
Yeah,
context to who you are too, so
yeah, that's
and
true. Give like a good introduction of who I am.
yeah, so then by the time you're in
Yeah.
the big group one, if anybody watched or
Hmm.
listen to the other ones, it's
You'd be like,
easier.
oh, I know that guy. I know him. We're
Yeah.
pretty much friends.
Yeah, man, for sure. So,
Yeah.
alrighty, man. Well, I'm gonna hop in the
Okay.
shower and I'm gonna get to bed because I'm an old man and I need my sleep.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay up past my bedtime. I forgot to do my homework. That's
Oh
cool.
no.
I'll just push it. I don't need to do it.
You got it. Just slam it in the morning. Or try to.
I'll probably just do it right now.
You
I'll
got
have the
this.
energy. I got it. What's the worst that can happen?
You got this. I don't even know what time it is.
Yeah.
It's
We're just like
9:46.
9:46.
That's not too bad. That's
It's
not.
not too bad.
No, you got this, man.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? Me like passing out on the floor.
Throwing up your guts.
Yeah, throwing up my guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, throwing up out of my nose.
No, bro. Well, no, never again, dude.
Yeah, I've never, dude. It was everywhere. My whole bed would just throw up. It was so bad.
Oh God, yeah. That's
Yeah,
throwing up sucks, dude. It's awful.
it's not fun. Don't recommend it.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night, and I'll
Yeah,
talk to you
you
soon,
too.
or see you at
Thanks for
work.
everyone listening too.
Yeah. Thank you for everybody listening and checking it
Yeah,
out, and um, until the next
you're all
episode.
loved. Yeah,
You're all loved. You're all cool. Keep
you're all
being
loved.
cool.
You're all cool. Yeah,
You know.
fuck the cool kids. You're special. You
Anybody
don't
that
need them.
anybody that knows me, please do not show up at the Hutchinson, Kansas Olive Garden.
But anyone who does know me, please show up. Give me a high five. I'll give out autographs too. I'm Mr. Famous.
Let's get,
So
dude. I kind of have a fear because when I posted those Olive Garden ones, there's like people commenting like, "What Olive Garden do you work at? I want to come see you." And
well,
so
now they know.
And
Yeah,
now,
no, no.
and now some of them came from that to my Instagram, and I obviously post these podcasts like on my story and stuff to my Instagram.
Oh,
So I'm afraid someone's
yes.
going to listen to this and they're going to be like, I know where he is now. I can find him.
They're gonna like. I love that. Oh my gosh.
And like,
Should be a voice actor.
I'm going to be
That was
spooked,
amazing.
dude. I'm going to be like so scared.
Just wear like a disguise.
It's like going to
Or
be my worst
something.
fear with me working at Olive Garden. Someone comes up and they're like, "You're Nathyn." I'm going to be like, "Oh no!" Like I would be like, "Oh God!" Like,
Their whole like paparazzi outside
oh
and
no,
everything.
bro. God, I hope not. I really, really hope that doesn't happen.
Don't worry, I'll be your bodyguard.
That
Like,
sounds so
like,
spooky, dude.
don't worry, I'll be right next to you.
Hutchison
If
Gates.
anyone didn't know, I'm 6 foot, 6'6". I'm built as a bodybuilder, so it's
Yes.
very true.
Trevor
Yeah.
is the scariest guy you would ever.
Yeah, I'm very scary. I got scars on my face. I have a neck tattoo and everything.
You better watch out. He's got a neck tattoo.
Yeah, I got face tattoos too.
Oh, no.
I got a buzz cut. So yeah, don't mess with me and Nathan.
You think you're gonna get more tats?
Oh man, I definitely want to get one on my wrist, Ghost,
Oh
for
yeah.
Godflower. Yeah, just like that song really helped me out, to be honest. Which I know that sounds kind of weird, but it really helped me not, to actually push myself through like suicidal things.
Yeah, man, that's a great song.
But yeah,
It's a beautiful song.
it is. It is.
Yeah, man. That's good though. All right, man. Well, you have a good night.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, you too.
Try to take
See
it
you in
easy.
the next episode. Yeah.
See you in the next episode, and I'll see you
Do
at
you have
work.
like an outro for this? Oh,
No, a lot of times I'll
No.
just tell people that we'll be like on, and then I don't even remember how we did it last time. I would just kind of be like, "All right, I think we've been going for quite a while," and
yeah.
you know,
Trying to hit the hay.
and then Jordan or Eris will be like, "Yeah, I think it's about time," and you know, when it starts to push past an hour and a half, I kind of start around there to start to end it because
Yeah.
I don't want to push like,
2 hours or 3 hours.
I could go up to 2. Well, we're pretty much at 2 hours right now, but
Oh, well,
If
we're
I-
at 2 hours.
but like if I
We're
was,
tracking this ending so much. I
yeah,
love it though.
but like,
It's like bonus content.
yeah, so I don't mind necessarily because if somebody's just listening to it, then whatever. That's the thing, the beauty about podcasts is it's all unedited, so it's like, this is exactly what you're going to hear in it, and
Yeah. It's
You know.
like raw nature.
yeah,
Really or
people
something.
just love it
Yeah.
because it isn't like filtered and it's not like this really hyper
There's no scripts.
No, it's just people chatting and that's it, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So some podcasts get millions and millions of views, and I always just wanted to do something that was like a music related podcast because I don't feel like there's enough music podcasts out there.
Oh yeah, of course not.
Like I don't feel like there's just enough that people can really I don't know, like you got the Needle Drop, Anthony Fantano, you got like Sean Keys and stuff. Like you got a few different YouTubers that do it, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Like it's okay, I would say. Like I don't know. The format of it, I feel like because this is kind of like just like a chatting episode, where we're just kind of talking
Yeah.
and getting to know you, and so. But like some of the episodes, I want to do like straight up like album reviews where we all like just get on and like talk about an album that just came out and give our perspective on if we all hated
Ooh,
it.
I would love it. I would love to do that.
For even stuff that we just don't normally listen to either, like like the new Playboy Cardi album, like because Eris would be like, "Oh yeah, man, I thought it was fire. It was awesome. Cardi slid on that." But then I'd be like, "No, man, I think it's garbage and it sucks." And
It's dog shit.
but
It's
yeah,
terrible.
but that's the thing is it's like that's what's fun about it is because you just get a bunch of different opinions because that's the thing about music. It's all opinions. It's like you either like it or
Yes.
you don't. Like there's plenty of people that don't like Nathyn music and that's fine because I write what I want to write and I enjoy it. I write it for me and It's the stuff that
That's,
I want to
that's
hear.
how it should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it should be. It's like the music you write is the stuff that you like. It's not,
Yeah, it's very therapeutic, It's supposed to help you out and,
yeah.
maybe help others.
Yeah, and some
Yeah.
people aren't going to vibe with it or some people aren't going to get it or like it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but doing like album reviews with on some episodes would be fun where we just review some albums or and we give our perspective on stuff. Like I was going to message in the podcast after we do the top 5 albums from all of us, like do an album review that's going to be coming up where a new album maybe drops and we all just listen to it and give our perspective on it.
Yeah.
So I feel like stuff like that will be fun. It'll also drive people to the podcast because people then that are searching or talking about that album can listen to the podcast.
Yeah, hear people's thoughts about it and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I would love to do that. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, man. It's super chill
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's just really fun. It's something I've wanted to do and for fun and in the free time.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think is really good. It's good for mental health and everything.
oh yeah,
Everyone getting together. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. All right, bro. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go to
We're
bed.
definitely ending this. Yep.
Yeah,
We're
man.
just for like about 2 hours.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours. So, but it was
Okay.
It was a good chat, bro.
Yeah,
So
it was a good chat. I loved it. I hope other people loved it too.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me. I feel so honored to be
For
part
sure,
of this
man.
whole thing.
Yeah, you'll be on the next one, and once we get the rest of the people involved and we get a date to have everybody jump in the Discord.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Alrighty, bro. Well,
All
have a
right.
good night.
Yeah, all right. You too. Don't
All
work
right.
yourself too hard, man. You
All
need
right.
it.
I'm trying not to, man. So,
I know, man. You got this. Don't worry.
All
Been
right.
through worse things than me.
it's
You got
Yeah.
this.
alrighty, bro. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Yeah, talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.